Now we are going to discuss the next part of the symbolic logic, that is quantifiers and qualified statement. What does mean the quantifier and qualified statement? The open statement, that you know that open statement means their output is going to change by person. For example, x plus 5 is equal to 4. What is value of x? It is open statement, because if one particular person take the positive value, another person will take the negative value or fraction, whatever. So values of the will be changed. But if we put the condition on it, that for some value of x plus 5 is equal to 9, then that will be the statement, and this is known as a quantified statement. And for some or there exist, these are the quantifiers. Similarly, tomorrow there will be exam. It is open statement, but if you say that for all the students of some standard there will be the exam, for all is a quantifier. That is a mention that you will be convert open statements into either true or false. These are called a quantified statements. In straightforward, open statements will be converted into the statements which will be true or false. These open statements, by putting some conditions, either for some or there exists or for all, then it is called a quantified statement. So there are two types of quantifiers. One, existential quantifiers, means there exist. For example, you can see the example, the set 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. It is universal set. I can say there exists a prime number x belongs to A. It is statement 3, 5, 7, 11 are the prime numbers. So this statement has a truth value. So existential quantifier convert the qualified statement. It is denoted by this symbol. This is known as there exist. Another thing, for all, that is universal quantifiers, means when you put the condition, this condition is a compulsory for each and every part of that particular things. For example, x square is equal to 0 for all x belongs to R. Every real number whose square is 0. So it is a universal statement, universal qualifier, and then that statement is called a universal quantifier qualified statement. So therefore, open statements are converted into the statement in the logic by using some condition. These conditions are called quantifiers. The quantifiers are two types, existential quantifier and another universal quantifier. For example, if A is 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, it is one of the universal sets that we have taken. Determine the truth values of each of the following statement. These all are the quantified statements. There exists x belongs to A such that x minus 8 is equal to 1. What does it mean? That at least one element in the set A which assigns the value of x, from which if you subtract 8 there will be 1. So 3 minus 8 is not 5 minus 8, it is not equal to 1. 7 minus 8 is not equal to 1. 9 minus 8 is 1. So there exists a one number in this set such that this statement become true. So this is an open statement convert quantified statement by using existential quantifier, and it is true. It is a true. Second, for all x belongs to, that is, every member of the set A has a compulsion. X square plus x is an even number is an open statement. Since by putting the universal quantifier, it becomes a quantified statement. So this will be even number. Check one by one. 9 plus 3, 12. It is even number, so it is true for this. 5 square 25 plus 3, 28. It is even number. 49 plus 7, 56. It is also even number. 81 plus 9, 90 is also even number. 121 plus 11, 121 plus 11 is 2, that is also even number. And next 12, 144 plus 12 is also even number. So every member of this set, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, satisfy this condition, and this is also true statement. Next, understood this. The third, there exists x in, means at least one x in this set whose square is less than 0. As you know that every square of every real number is positive, but here these all are the point numbers. So how their square is negative? It is not possible. So this is a false statement. Next, for all x. Again, every member of x is an even number. No. Every set for all. If there exists in this set, then it is true. So this is also a false statement. Another, there exists x belongs to A, 3x plus 8 is greater than 40. At least one element. 3 3 is 9 plus 8, not less than 40. 15 plus 8, not less than 40. 21 plus 8, not less than 40, not greater than 40. 27 plus 8, 35 is not less than, not greater than. 11 3s are 33 plus 8, 41. So it is true statement. Therefore, all these are open statements. But by using in quantifiers, these become the quantified statements. For that, we can state their truth values, whether they are true or false. That's why open statements also can be converted statement in the symbolic logic by using quantifiers. These are two quantifiers: existent quantifier and universal quantifier. Okay, understood? Now, dual. Principle of duality that we are going to define. You know that we use T for tautology, C for contradiction. This is join, it is conjunction, and this is disjunction, and it is conjunction. This is or, and it is by. What does it mean, the dual statement? Dual statement, in the given statement, compound statement, interchange tautology into contradiction, vice versa, and to the or and or to the and, such a statement are called a dual statement. For example, P and Q, its dual statement is P or Q, and vice versa. P or Q become P and Q, P and Q become P or Q. So these are the dual statements. Another statement, this is one example. Second, T and P. T and P. Its dual statement is T become C and become or P. So duality, principle of duality is by interchanging the sign and become or become and, tautology become contradiction, contradiction becomes tautology. Few examples. For example, P or Q and R. What is dual? P or become and, Q and become or. It's very simple. Principle of duality, there is no change except and or CNT. Rest of all operations remain same. That is called a dual statement. Okay, one more example. Second, P and T or C and not. If you understood this, then it's dual. There is no change into the P and become or, T becomes C. That is T for tautology, C for contradiction. This is or become and, contradiction become tautology and not Q. This is a dual statement of the given statement and vice versa. If you have this statement, then its dual is this statement. Okay. So principle of duality like this. Now after duality, we will discuss negation of compound statement. As you know that compound statements are formed with logical connective not and or if then and if and only if. So first we will discuss negation of disjunction. Negation of disjunction is conjunction, negation of conjunction is a disjunction with individual negation. You might have remembered this in set theory. We use this. These are called De Morgan's laws. That A union B dash is equal to A dash intersection B dash. Same thing. Negation of conjunction is disjunction of individual negations. Now we can verify with the help of statement pattern. You know the truth tables. P, Q, negation of P, negation of Q. It is a conjunction, so therefore F, T, T, T. This is disjunction, then T, F, and their negation. So from A and B, negation of P and Q is equivalent to negation P or negation of Q. Means negation of conjunction is a disjunction of individual simple statement. That is the compound statement of. Next, negation of disjunction. It is counterpart of conjunction. Negation of disjunction is a conjunction of individual negation. That is or become and become or, and negation with vice versa. We can verify with the help of periodic table. With the help of truth table. P, Q, negation P, negation Q, negation P and negation Q, P or Q, negation P or Q. As usual, because now we have practiced, complete practice that how to represent truth tables. That side is statement pattern is very simple. So again you can check the truth values of negation P and negation Q and negation P or Q the same. Therefore, negation of disjunction is a conjunction of individual negatives, and these two rules introduced by De Morgan. So that's why these are known as De Morgan laws. These are known as De Morgan laws. Third, negation of implication. Now, before going to introduce negation of implication, I would like to prove by statement pattern what is the relation between implication. Because De Morgan law is applicable only on and or, not in any other compound segment. So, to express the negation, it is very necessary to convert conditional statement into unconditional statement. Into unconditional statement means, for example, if it rains, then no school. So here, if then. Now I will write this statement without using condition that there is no rain or school. Now we will check their verification, whether it is true or false, with the help of statement pattern. This is P, Q, negation of P. P implies Q, that you are well known about the truth table, that is P implies Q, T, F, P and T. And negation P or Q, it is or. So negation P or Q, this is T, this is negation P or Q, it is true. This is true and this is true. Tautology. So you can compare these two statements. The truth values of P implies Q is T, F, T, T, and negation of P or Q is T, F, T, T. So therefore, P implies Q is equivalent to negation P or Q. Or more precisely, instead of writing column number 4 and column number 5, if you use a logical equivalence, double implication, then it is a tautology. And if it is a tautology, this implies these two statements are equivalent. So conditional statement can be write in terms of unconditional statement, that is into the conjunction. That is, you know that negation is applicable easily on conjunction or disjunction, not easily on this. Now, negation of P implies Q is equivalent to negation P or Q. And just like you know that negation of disjunction is nothing but negation P and negation Q, and this is nothing but P and not Q. You know that evolution law is set theory. So therefore, P implies Q can be right in the negation of it is P and not Q. Now we will verify it. The verification is necessary by the statement pattern, that is P, Q, P implies Q, negation of P implies Q, then negation of Q, P and not Q. We will check their verification. This is true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. This is, you know that you are familiar with this. It is very simple. This is F, T, F, F. This is F, T, F, T. It is AND. P and not Q. It is AND, then it is true only when both are the true, otherwise false. And therefore, negation of P implies Q is nothing but P and not Q. So if you remember this, and this we are going to apply as a rule, negation of implication, that is conditional statement, is converted into without condition. That P, if P, then Q can be right, not P or Q. And then it is easy to convert into the negation. And therefore, by applying the De Morgan's law, this becomes P and not Q. We verified with the help of truth table, that is this P and not Q. It is F, it is T, it is F, it is F. So, therefore, finally, negation of P implies Q means negation of complete statement will be conjunction of P and not Q. Is it clear? Now, after the negation of conditional statement, the negation of biconditional statement, we have biconditional statement P implies Q can be right, P implies Q and Q implies P. Already we proved this is negation P or Q without condition, and this is a negative Q or P without condition. So therefore, the biconditional statement we can write without using condition, that in terms of disjunction and conjunction. Now take the negation, apply the negation on both the sides. Then De Morgan's law, this and become or individual negations. Again by the De Morgan's law, this or become and, this or become and individual negation. Negation of negation is vanished, it become P and not Q, Q or Q and not P. So negation of biconditional statement, straightforward we can write conjunction, that is without condition. So that's why you must remember P implies Q is negation P or Q. In the previous part, we verified this by using truth table. Similarly, we can verify this also by using statement pattern. Okay, so these are the negations. Now next is about the regarding the compound statement, converse, inverse and contrapositive. You remember this, you heard this word converse in previous standard, especially in 9th and 10th standard when you study the geometry. There are a number of theorems you study. If and then style statement, that conditional statement. For example, if a triangle, then sum of angles of the triangle is 180. It is a conditional statement. Then converse will be, sum of angles of the figure is 180, then it will be triangle. That is converse. And inverse, negation. And most of the times we use to prove the theorems. When the theorem is not possible to prove directly, then we use their contrapositive statements. What does it mean that? Now given conditional statement is P implies Q. That is the antecedent P consequent Q. Converse means interchange in antecedent consequent. The consequent become antecedent and antecedent become consequent. It is called a converse. In the inverse, no change of order but negations are it. Negation of antecedent is equal to negation of consequent. And the Contrapositive statement is the inverse of the converse. Inverse of the converse, or it is inverse statement of converse of the inverse statement. Converse of the inverse statement. So these are the negations and regarding this thing. Now next time we will discuss the problems of these all negations of compound statements, that is conjunction, disjunction, negation of disjunction, negation of conditional statement, negation of biconditional statement, and converse, inverse and contrapositive. Thank you.